Now imagine this, once upon a time, there was a guy who really didn't like parties like that. It would be a rare thing to see this one guy at a party because that just wasn't really his scene. This guy was going to different places and doing different things. But even after picking his own lane, he still felt like he was missing out on something. I mean, deep down, he did know, but he didn't want to admit what it was. There was always thoughts in his head, like, do I go to this party? Do I go to this one? Maybe this one's better. I surprisingly didn't give in until one day that changed his life forever. He got a call from one of his boys. He was like, hey yo, there's mad beanies here. Where you at? With only a split second of hesitation, I thought, you know what? YOLO, let me go. So imagine, this was also at a time in my younger days, a couple years ago, when my whole purpose was to secure the deal. I'm gonna talk about some other things in separate videos, because this month, I'll be real, this month, I've been slacking, so every video I'm gonna post this month is gonna be something female related for Valentine's Day. Even though I didn't want to seem like that guy, I really did want to see what the party life was about at the time, because in a way it was kind of new to me because it was something I didn't do before or didn't really get into before. So I get ready, just start making moves, you know, usual procedures. I won't lie though, back then I was a bit nervous, you could say, because I had way less confidence than I do right now. So I was getting this like weird feeling in my stomach the whole journey there. So a couple of the people I knew greeted me on the way, and I remember one of them asked me, have you drunk yet? And bearing in mind, I thought they meant actual, you know, drinks, normal drinks, not the big boy stuff. Like, you see, back then I was a bit slow, so I was thinking that they were talking about, you know, Fanta, KA, maybe even a Tango. They did have a Tango, but I also saw a whole line of things which at the time I didn't see before. You know, I can't even recall what I had, but I know it was good enough that I went back for some more because I thought it was a normal drink here. So I was like, you know what, this is pretty nice. Not realizing what's about to happen. So the drink eventually starts kicking in more and more, and I'm feeling a little bit more lively now. The world starts feeling a bit nicer for some reason. The edges on your crisp starts feeling a little bit better. Okay, I'm just waffling now still. Things are now a bit more funny when on the surface, nothing's really changed. There's not really much to this story, to be honest. This is just a whole little backstory. As more and more time passes on, I'm now not being able to focus on what's in front of me. The world is starting to look a little bit more shaky. Naturally, I had to just chill out for a second and sit down because my head was doing a madness. But guys know, when you sit down after drinking, the last thing you want to do is get up. It might be worse for some people, it might be better. I don't know. It just depends on the person really. But for me, that was when it really hit me. I'm up right now. Everything is just suddenly worse than it was. But yeah, in terms of the party, just simple really. I remember I secured nothing back then, so I'm not even gonna try cap like, oh, I secured so many things. Like, nah bro. This was like day one of Danlynkz getting in that type of scene, innit? So after the party, when everything's pretty much died down now, it's time to go home. Obviously, I don't know who I left with, but all I know is that I made it home, innit? When I got home, sorted out myself and went to sleep, the next morning I woke up with a headache. I woke up just feeling so slumped. I woke up feeling a little bit ill. I woke up that morning just feeling horrible. And you know, at the time, I was thinking, maybe it's just a coincidence that a day after the party, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. But now, looking back, it was clear that alcohol just finished me. You see, from that point, I thought, yeah, I'm not doing this again. I'm not drinking again. The aftermath feeling I felt that day, I don't want to feel like that again. Fast forward to Freshers is actually the same sort of cycle, but it's more lit. But even that first ever week of uni, that first ever week probably changed my life forever and changed my perspective on things. Because that's when I realized, like, is this really for me? Do I really like this? Like, more time, nah. The reason I stopped right now is because I just do too much and wake up with either a headache the next morning or wake up feeling bare tired and not want to get out of bed and do what I'm supposed to do. Like, the last reason why I stopped drinking is because I stopped going to the clubs. So obviously, a big part of the clubs is either pre-drinks or drinks when you're there. Most people do pre's though, but because I wasn't going to the clubs anymore, I had no reason to drink. There's no incentive to drink when you're just here doing your own thing. So when I realized that, I was like, why am I even drinking anymore? I'm not gonna act like I'll never drink again, but to say that I'm actually gonna be as consistent as I was back then, nah. But yeah, man, that's literally just why I don't drink anymore. The only time you're gonna see me drink is if it's on a very special occasion. Plus, I'm trying to get hench as well, so the alcohol is just gonna mess up the system. But if you enjoyed this video, it's been your boy Danlynkz, aka D-Star. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, comment.